coming through. Look out, look out, look out.
Conflict is a fact of everyday life. It comes to us in a variety of forms. Instinct moves us out of the way of danger. But when instinct is blinded by fear or slowed by thought, we hesitate or even stop dead in our tracks. Clearly, when a threat approaches, there are other choices than meeting it head-on. Enshin Karate is the art of managing conflict in a practical, natural way. Enshin Karate is based on a simple strategy called sabaki. Sabaki is movement out of a line of attack into a blind spot position from which one can counterattack using the attacker's momentum against him. The combinations available to this strategy are almost limitless.
They're ready to go, and a trickle of blood from the left corner of Brett Laser's mouth down onto his chest.
A knockout, a left roundhouse kick.
This is the strategy behind Enshin Karate. This is sabaki. Against any attack, you must instantly choose the best position for counterattack. This always means moving to the attacker's side or back, the blind spot position. For example, against a right punch, you must choose to move right or left, but there is actually only one smart move. Move to the outside of the opponent's lead hand, where you can easily take the attacker's blind spot. Why is the blind spot the best counterattack position? 1. You are well out of range of the attack. 2. The attacker is blind to your counterattack. If you fail to take the blind spot position, you gain no advantage, and the fighting remains even. Remember, always move to the position that will bring you most quickly to the side and back of the attacker's lead hand, to the blind spot position. There are 4 basic Enshin positions. In positions 1 and 2, you move forward and to the left or right of the attacker. In those cases, when the attacker lunges forward, you move back and to the left or right, into positions 3 and 4. In this introductory tape, we will concentrate mainly on the use of positions 1 and 2. The basic movements of blocking, punching, and kicking are the building blocks of sabaki technique. Fighting stance is the foundation for quick, strong technique. From the ground up, a solid fighting stance should hold the feet, knees, hips, and elbows in a vertical alignment directed at an oncoming attack. The body is turned sideways to present a narrower target. The fighter is poised, his power drawn in. Unlike a traditional wide stance, this modified boxing stance allows for greater quickness and agility. In Enshin karate, the parry or block begins the counterattack. Circular motion is the essence of Enshin parries and blocks. The middle outside parry, Chudan Soto Nagashi, is used against straight-in punches or kicks. It is designed to deflect an incoming blow and expose the attacker's blind spot. The backhand protects the face. The middle outside parry protects the chest and stomach. The middle outside parry doesn't attempt to stop the incoming blow. Instead, it uses the palm or inner forearm in a circular motion to deflect the blow to one side and expose the opponent's blind spot. The middle outside parry works equally well against punches, front kicks, and even straight back kicks. In normal fighting stance, the front hand parry against a right punch or front kick deflects the blow and exposes the opponent's blind spot. But against a left punch or a straight left kick to the stomach area, use the front hand in a lower parry called Gedan Barai. Like Soto Nagashi, the Gedan Barai or lower parry deflects an incoming blow across the front of the attacker's body. The parrying hand rotates so the palm or knife edge makes contact with the incoming blow. The circular movement of the parrying hand carries through the stomach area. It passes just outside the front hip and ends up in its starting position protecting the face. The Gedan Barai works against left lower punches or front kicks. The deflecting action of the front hand turns the attacker and exposes his blind spot. Against a face punch, however, the Gedan Barai is too cumbersome. In this situation, a right outside parry with the backhand is faster and should be executed while moving to the attacker's blind spot. Roundhouse kicks to the head can be blocked with an upper block called Jodanuke. The upper block starts in the hips. It is a lifting movement of the arms that absorbs the incoming blow, then pushes it back in an upward arc. Contact is made from beneath the oncoming blow, with the other hand protecting the face. Remember, the upper block is a deflecting motion, so keep the forearm angled back to allow the impact of the kick to be absorbed and redirected upwards. The upper block can be used effectively to either side. After blocking, move immediately to the outside of the attacker's lead foot into a counterattack position. Against a low roundhouse kick, the most effective technique for absorbing impact and deflecting the blow is the shin block, called Suneoke. To stop the attacker's momentum, lean into the kick with the hip of the blocking leg extended forward. Position the blocking shin to meet the attacker's leg at a perpendicular angle. Against right or left low roundhouse kicks, always block with the lead shin. To block a left low roundhouse, cross over to meet the attacker's leg at a perpendicular angle. Keep the hands and upper body in their original position. Always try to stop the low roundhouse kick just above the attacker's knee. When your momentum forces back the kicking leg, you've created the blind spot position on the attacker's opposite side. The shin block is an ideal defense against any low kick at close distance, especially when the attacker has already started his forward momentum.
Okay, so we tried doing it right now, shin block. Okay, someone come a low kick, then you can use the shin, then block fine. See, like fighting sounds, low kick come, put your weight front. This is good block. But some people say, just pick up knee and block like this. Easy to get sweep, right? Just try, just someone come, try up, now going that low sweeping, see. That gets very easy. Also, some people see keep upping, only pick up legs. So easy to get swept too. So okay. So point is you have to weight front and block, right? Don't just pick them up knee. Okay, right.
Against low or middle roundhouse kicks, a foot stop called ashidome is the most useful technique. Whether stopping to the right or left, ashidome is always done with the front foot. Timing is important because you must stop the kick before the attacker's momentum carries forward. The ashidome has to be done early. Use the whole surface of the foot and bring the hip of the stopping leg well forward to check the attacker's momentum. Ashidome is effective to both sides, but remember, keep the stopping foot perpendicular to the attacker's leg or trunk. To stop the attacker's left roundhouse kick, rotate the hips and keep the hands and upper body in their original position. The ashidome can be targeted to a number of different areas on the attacker's body, to the supporting leg, the kicking leg, or the trunk. Against taller opponents, use ashidome to the supporting leg. Against any roundhouse kick, you can always stop to the trunk. It's the biggest target of all. When stopping to the leg, aim for the top of the leg near the hip. This area moves less and is a larger target than the knee or shin. Strong shin block or stopping techniques require good timing. Always keep the hands up to protect the face. Use stopping techniques early whenever possible. Now that we've looked at basic defensive moves, let's examine some of the offensive weapons in the Enshin arsenal. Once you have parried an attacker's punch or kick, the fastest counterattack is a straight punch. It must not only be quick, it must be accurate and powerful. Any punch is a transfer of power from the legs and hips through the back and shoulders into the fist. Here are some basic points to keep in mind. Concentrate impact on the two large knuckles next to the thumb. For an efficient transfer of power, keep the wrist absolutely straight. Hip rotation is extremely important. Think of how this same hip torque is used in other sports for swinging a bat, a golf club, or racket, and you'll begin to get a sense of the power that can be generated by this muscle group.
That's good. Okay. When punching more use the hip. So point is you have to cover it's good, right? Now, most important, the hip and the back foot. You have to kick floor. Not enough go. You stop in turn. You have to go through. Punch and back. Right. So most important, kicking back floor. So feel like when you keep finishing, is here's more out. So knee to your opponent, right?
Yes.
They're more stretch out to your elbows, right? So from here, then back, straight, back. Okay?
Yes.
I try. After punch, right away bounce back too. Okay, that's good.
Drop the weight to ensure good balance. Keep the back hand up to protect the face. Relax the arm and shoulders. Allow the fist to snap at the end of each punch. The hook punch is an effective way to vary the angle of one's punching attack. Unlike the straight punch, the hook punch lands from the outside in a circular motion that skirts the opponent's guard. The cross-body punch is a close-in technique that delivers full impact at a cross angle. It differs from the straight punch in two ways. One, it angles in from the side. Two, its rising motion powers under the opponent's guard with an impact that lifts the body. Remember to first bend the knees and dip the punching shoulder to achieve the proper angle for this attack. Unlike the hook punch, the elbow of the striking arm stays close to the body. The movement of the cross-body punch is anchored in the front foot and carries impact diagonally up and through an opponent's defense in a lifting motion. The elbow strike is another effective countering technique at close distance. At the beginning of the elbow strike, extend the lead hand forward to measure distance to the target and provide counter momentum to the striking elbow. As the striking elbow descends, tuck the fist into the chest. Here the right hand slaps away the opponent's guard before executing the elbow strike. Once again, the hips are used to power the strike.
Okay, we're showing elbow strike. Elbow strike is close distance fighting is most effective, right? Also, you can use all defense angle. So I like to show a little defense elbow strike. Okay, right? Left high roundhouse kick arm. You can parry down and go to side position, knee kick, and right elbow from top, swing down. Okay, so this is a regular speed and elbow. Okay. Right, now defense, this one more defense angle is left front kick arm. You can take down to the floor on your knee. Okay, then set, then elbow down. Face, sometimes it's a carbo, this part. Okay, let's try it. Straight and back and belly. Okay. Also somebody grabbing from behind. This way, so defense angle to straight back to the body, sometimes swing to the face. This way, okay? So try it, you can use all defense angle. Okay?
Practice punches singly and in combination for both speed and power. You will discover punching combinations for every situation. Enshin kicks offer a range and power that surpasses that of punches alone. Used in combination with punches, they provide an awesome force. At close or long distance, at low or high targets. Let's look first at the Enshin front kick, called Mai-gari. The Mai-gari is a straight kick to either the body or face, using the ball of the foot. The front kick starts by cocking back the hip of the kicking leg. As the hip releases forward, the hand pulls in the opposite direction. The hand pull provides counter momentum to the thrust of the kick. It increases balance and power. Keep the opposite hand up to protect the face. Keep the elbows in close to the body. Allow the hips and supporting foot to pivot freely. For maximum power, uncoil the hip and extend the leg at the same time. The knee kick is extremely effective at close range and can be targeted at the groin, the torso, or the head. For knee kicks to the face and upper torso from the outside, the knee swings on a wide arc. For jumping in knee kicks or against a higher target, the knee thrusts straight forward with the hip driving through on the jump. The roundhouse kick is one of the most versatile weapons in the Enshin arsenal. Whether directed to the legs, the midsection, or the head, the circular power of the Mawashi-gari can be devastating. The Enshin roundhouse kick starts with the knee lifting to the outside for maximum use of the hips and thigh muscles. As the kicking hip rotates forward, the knee uncoils at an angle perpendicular to the target. After impact, it retracts along the same arc. Once again, the hand pulls to provide additional power and balance. The supporting foot pivots to allow a free transfer of power and to reduce stress on the knee. The knee lift to the outside is important. If the knee comes forward first, the power in the hips is lost. The kick may be fast, but without the hips behind it, it will have little impact. The kicking surface will vary for different targets. For low kicks, use the shin. For kicks to the midsection, use either the ball of the foot, called chusoku, or the shin. For high roundhouse kicks to the head, use the instep, called hisoku. Practicing kicks on a bar is a good way to improve technique and strengthen the legs at the same time. Remember, don't hang on the bar. Instead, use it for balance only. Start with a 4-count kick from a deep stance, with the kicking leg well back. Here is a 4-count roundhouse kick. On 1, raise the knee to the outside. On 2, turn the hip over and kick past the imaginary center line. On 3, return to the outside position. On 4, return to the starting kick stance. Here's the 4-count roundhouse at normal speed. Remember, when kicking against the air, extend the roundhouse kick further out in front to keep balance. Next, try a set of 2-count kicks. On the count of 1, snap the kick to its full extension and hold. On 2, return to starting position. When muscle fatigue sets in, push yourself to complete the count with good technique. These last few repetitions are the best conditioners of all. For greater precision and height, a chair makes the perfect trainer. The back of the chair should be placed even with the inside of the front foot, then count through the repetition in the normal way. The bar is an excellent training aid for all kicks. You can concentrate on leg extension without worrying too much about balance. For knee kicks, grasp the bar with 2 hands. Drive the kicking knee up to the outside of the elbow. As the foot returns to the floor, unweight the supporting foot and drop it back in preparation for the next kick. As the repetitions grow faster, try to find a comfortable rhythm and maintain it for 30 seconds. The heavy bag is invaluable for work on punches and kicks. It not only provides a solid aerobic workout, but gives the feel of contact and improves strength and endurance. Start off with 6 or 8 intervals that are a manageable length for you. Gradually make them longer as strength and endurance improve. Try different combinations of kicks to improve footwork, balance, and timing. Even knee kicks can be practiced on the heavy bag. The range of possible combinations is almost limitless.
Right, you're going to the back training. When you do training, always think about this, your opponent. Okay? So always think about this, somebody punching or kick coming. Right? So what we're going to do, one technique is the left front kick come, you try it, parry wing, and give a low kick, and sweep, and high kick. Okay? So do same with this bag, right? So left middle coming, so try parry with left hand. And get right away, before parry, we go, and one high kick. Okay? So try it, by this hand, say go, by this hand, and kick. Okay, there you go, parry way, yes, yes. One way down, then move outside, okay? There you go. Yes, good. Okay, speed up, there you go. Okay, and yes. Okay, try it more rewind power. After all, rewinding power and last kick. Okay? So with this also you can practice positioning and speed and power. Okay?
When working on the bag, always try to visualize an opponent and make your combinations as close as possible to a real fighting situation. Start slowly and gradually work up to full speed. Now that we've looked at both defensive and offensive techniques, let's look more closely at how they're put together. Sabaki. In Enshin karate, the movement to the opponent's blind spot after blocking his attack is the transition from defense to offense. This is the heart of the Sabaki method. Transition to the blind spot is even more effective when you grab the attacker's sleeve and pull him off balance. By pulling the attacker's lead arm across the front of his body in a downward motion, you increase his forward momentum and cause him to lunge off balance. The name for this one-arm pull is hikikazushi. When you move outside the attacker's lead shoulder, you reach the control point, the best position for controlling the attacker and reaching his blind spot. Against a left kick or punch, you parry and move to the control point in the same way. Remember, the control point gives the best leverage for pulling through the attacker during hikikazushi. To increase leverage during hikikazushi, keep the elbow locked against the body and pivot on the control point. With the elbow close to the body, you can use the circular momentum of your whole body instead of arm strength alone. This pulling through motion also leaves you in ideal counterattacking position, with the opposite hip and shoulder back, ready to punch or kick. At close distance, you can gain further control by immediately following hikikazushi with a hooking action to the back of the neck. Use a knife edge of your opposite hand for this technique. Note the circular motion of the upper hand as it moves to the neck and presses downwards. By pulling the attacker's lead arm, you can draw down his head into hooking position. Hooking the neck after the one-arm grab is called hikimawashi. Remember, pivoting on the supporting foot provides even more leverage and helps pull the opponent off balance. Here the defender has failed to pull around the attacker far enough. The attacker has had time to pull away and regain balance. If the hikimawashi is not a circular motion but a lunging grab, you will leave your own rib cage exposed. Think of hikimawashi as two circular arm movements, one on top of the other. Grab the sleeve and hook the neck, two circular motions, one on top of another. For greater speed in moving to the control point, unweight the feet and shift the hips. Remember, stay close to the attacker. There are many different counterattacks from hikikazushi and hikimawashi, but they each begin with a quick transition that first brings you to the control point and then to the deadly blind spot. Another advantage to hikimawashi is it puts you in perfect position for throwing techniques. The forward rolling throw, called makikominage, begins with hikimawashi. The hooking hand tucks the opponent's head under, while the backhand lifts his arm, forcing him into a forward roll. Open your body for greater leverage, and once the attacker is down, pull up on his arm to prevent counterattack. With the attacker pinned on his side, prepare your finishing off punch or heel kick. The back throw, called uranage, is effective against front kicks. After blocking the attack, grab the sleeve of the attacker's lead arm. Bring the other hand to his chin and push backwards. By uprooting the opponent's closest leg, you've taken out his balance from the bottom up. Against a left front kick, use a lower parry that hooks the ankle and draws the attacker's weight forward. From this position, you're ready to execute the back throw. Which throwing technique do you use? It all depends on your opponent's position and momentum. If your opponent's upper body carries forward, the makikominage is the logical choice. If the opponent's upper body is leaning back, uranage works best. In either case, the head controls the body. Take control of the head and the body will follow. If you choose one throw and your opponent resists, then reverse direction to use his momentum against him. You can easily switch from makikominage to uranage. Always work along your opponent's line of force. It's easier to join that line of force and redirect it than it is to oppose it. An alternative to the uranage is the ashibarai. It's done using the one-arm grab and is a little faster than makikominage or uranage. To execute the ashibarai, grab the attacker's closest arm near the shoulder, then scoop his near ankle while pulling backwards on the arm. Ashibarai works well after a hikikazushi and roundhouse kick combination, when the attacker's attention has been drawn upwards by the high kick. Shihan Joko Ninomiya, the founder of Enshin Karate, started training in karate at age 16. Early on, Ninomiya had two dreams: to win the All Japan Championship and to bring authentic fighting karate to America. Having realized both dreams, Ninomiya developed Enshin Karate, a system of practical fighting moves based on circular movement to an attacker's blind spot. Enshin is truly a blend of traditional philosophy and contemporary fighting techniques that can work for adults and children alike.
Right Jordan marching. Jordan, okay. And step up number 1 position. This side counter, try counter, then Jordan marching. Okay, one side. Then right Jordan, okay. Move on number 2 position. And counter Jordan marching. Okay. And try slow. After that, 6 count, fine.
3, 4, 8.
In addition to Enshin Karate, Ninomiya's international tournament, the Sabaki Challenge, has become the premier full-contact karate event in the country. Whether it's for the fighter in the Sabaki Challenge or the new white belt, Shihan Ninomiya believes that Enshin Karate should be for everyone, that its lessons can be used in every walk of life. After blocking an attack, your distance from your opponent will determine which technique you can best use for your counterattack. Short distance is close enough to hook the neck and knee kick or take the opponent down with the throwing technique. Middle distance calls for punches, low kicks, sweeps, or joint kicks. Long distance is generally kicking range. Let's look at front kick attack and how it's handled from 3 different distances. Using Geidan Barai, the defender parries and follows with Hikimawashi, a close distance response. From here, he can use a throwing technique. Here the defender uses soto nagash and counterattacks with a short punch and sweep. Punching counterattacks are best from middle distance position. Skipping out of the attacker's range, the defender must use a long-distance counterattack, in this case the roundhouse kick or mawashigiri. Against a high roundhouse kick, the defender counters from close distance with a short punch, hiki mawashi, a knee kick, and forward throw. Remember, whatever the attack, your position after the block always determines the counterattack. Here is the same action from a different angle. Against a roundhouse kick, the defender sets up at middle distance. He counters with a low roundhouse kick to the front leg and follows with ashibarai. There are more complicated movements, but these demonstrate the basic principle. Distance can apply to defense as well as to counterattacking position. Different distances can require different blocks and parries, but this will be covered in more detail in another tape. It is helpful to practice sabaki with a partner as often as possible, but the Enshin movements of blocking, transition, and counterattack can also be practiced alone. This is the value of kata, a series of movements practiced against imaginary opponents. Enshin kata are designed to reflect real fighting situations. Here we see an intermediate kata. In order to visualize the imaginary attack, one must be familiar with the real thing. Here's the same kata performed against real attackers.
Fighting stance. When try to sabaki, right hand punch come, you should move out number 1 position, okay? The next time, you're going to left punch come. So it should be move out number 2 position. And try to do all mixed sabaki, okay? This sabaki is fine, right? Start right, ready? Yes!
Sabaki, taking your opponent's power and turning it against him. It is a strategy basic to Enshin karate. Redirecting an opponent's power need not take great physical strength. However, it does take quickness and timing.
Maigiri, okay? And the first count, right, left next count, left, okay? And ready. Back. Fighting sounds. At this time, try to use attack is 조단 마시기. Okay. 네, 바크핸드와 사바키 again.
The basic blocks, transition, and counterattack techniques of Enshin karate should be practiced until they become automatic. From this basic collection of techniques, you can build a complex series of moves that will answer any attack.
That's fine. You know, combination attack. Okay. Even for some miss, try second time get through, right? Okay. If I tell, so don't try arm guard line, combination attack. Ready? Go! Second one here. Okay. Go! More.
Taking care of yourself on the street means being aware of your environment. Detective Joel Humphrey of the Denver Police Department is a 4th-degree black belt in Enshin karate.
Defending yourself in the street presents a much more serious challenge than winning a match in a dojo. Whether you are driving or on foot, remember, a person that plans to rob you, rape you, or assault you will be reluctant to do so in a lighted, well-crowded area. Don't let anyone surprise you. Avoid alleyways. Avoid crowds of people that are loitering on the side of the street. Don't walk near parked cars, recessed doorways, alley entrances, bushes, or other areas that will conceal someone that would harm you. If you must fight, give yourself every possible advantage. You are not interested in winning a decision. You want to act quickly and decisively. Subdue the attacker, get out of the situation, and call police. When you are first confronted by an attacker, watch his hands. If he has a weapon, it will appear in his hands. Once you see a weapon, focus on that weapon. If you are faced with more than one weapon, try to deal with the most dangerous weapon first. If you are injured, don't quit. Once you are defenseless, your chances of surviving greatly decrease, and most injuries are not fatal. There are no rules, no disqualifications. Do what you have to do to win, then get out of the situation and call the police.
In the martial arts, a well-sharpened sword symbolizes a fighter who has honed both body and spirit. The saying goes that a truly worthy sword never leaves its case. It means that the ultimate goal of one's training is to help create a world without conflict. Enshin karate is more than the sum of the techniques you have seen in this video. It is a way of being in the world that brings clarity, purpose, and a greater sense of spirit to those who follow its path. This is the way of Enshin Karate.
To get the most out of your training, you need to go with the best. Sabaki brand arm guards and heavy bags are designed by Shihan Ninomiya. They're tough, they're durable, and they're made with quality in mind. Sabaki brand products are designed with venting on the bottom to allow air to escape on impact. They're double stitched all the way around, top and bottom, and they have reinforced strapping. The heavy bags are over 5 feet long. You can practice your low and high kicks at the same time. Sabaki brand also offers a special 6-month guarantee. If your arm guard or heavy bag breaks in the first 6 months, return it with your receipt and we will fix it for free. Created by a champion for champions, Sabaki brand products are designed by Shihan Joko Ninomiya. Remember, when you're giving your training 100%, you need to be training with the best. Sabaki brand.